Walden?
Thank you so much. My comments about this office is I think it's a possibility of a game changer in the state of Washington. I've said that before. I mean, to be able to have these investigated at that level. I'm just really, I take my hat off as a commissioner and speak for Mothers Police Accountability. That I think it has such large ramification for the state of Washington and the victims and the families who are suffering from unlawful harm by police officers. So we are delighted that the governor and that you were appointed to this position to take this forward. And we also share your understanding of what it takes to set up a new office, a new agency. It takes a lot longer to get it going than what the public might think. So we can understand those growing pains that you're going through trying to set up a new office. And that office is statewide. And I think you answered my question the last time, is that I was confused on how you would protect the crime scene or the scene if it was in Spokane or Okanagan. And I think I think you explained that to have regional, because that was a real concern. I just want to see how you could protect the scene to get the information to do the investigation.
Yeah, well, thank you, Reverend. And we will have regional offices, so my hope is that we'll have investigators able to get to scenes, whether they're in Spokane or Wenatchee or Seattle, relatively quickly. And crime scene security will be set up, but we'll be there soon to actually do the investigation and wrap up. And let me just say that I'm really gratified by the comments that you just made. But as I say every time, we are hopeful that we can be that agency that folks are hoping for. And while your comments make me feel so good, like you've made my day now, they also terrify me because we want to do this right, and I know that it will motivate both me and the other members of my team to make sure that we live up to that. So thank you.
Any other questions? Any closing comments, Director Robo?
No, I just want to thank this group. This is the second partners and helping us get the word out and allowing us to describe what we do. And you all do incredible work in this area as well. And hopefully we can sort of go from there and make it even better and really make a difference in this area. So thank you all so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. We do appreciate you and your staff and your office and the work that you will be doing in the state and making a difference. So thank you so much for putting us on your schedule for today.
Of course.
And that ends our meeting for today. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you for coming.
Recording stopped.
My job.
We started new
session.
My job.
So,
I know we're just.
yeah, it's really incredible to discuss the APP without giving credit to the people the affected person who created it. I think you really have to mention that person's name. This is really important. And I think you have to transfer the discussion to include that person in determining how the APP goes forward, because the way you were discussing it, it sounded like the CPC had invented the APP, and that is just wrong.
It's in city council right now.
It's in city council because this person made it go to city council.
Right.
You guys didn't have anything to do with it, so please mention Castile's name at the very, very minimum. That is so important, because otherwise, this is like stealing someone else's work.
It's an important discussion to have with the people that are running it in city council right now.
When you present it to this meeting,
You just vaporized the person sitting right there.
Excuse me, you might notice that the ordinance says that we are allowed to do our work without interference from the
Your
public.
meeting is over.
Read the ordinance, and it says that we're allowed to do our work without interference from the public or anyone else. So I would ask you to please not harass our staff.
You're not being
Who's
harassed,
harassing
you're
you?
getting
harassing
public
the staff.
comment
Is this on
because
video?
you wouldn't
Yes,
take
it
it.
is.
Harassing the staff when they disappear people that work in the
I
community.
hear what you're saying.
Please just mention her name. Please
You
just do that
disappear the
minimum
person.
thing. That is just so
Can I
important.
say something really fast?
Please speak directly to Castile. She's right here.
That's fine. I Steele, we're in the work group together. Listen, this was just an update to say that we're a participant and that I was just giving an update. That
In any other context, would you simply,
Excuse
she
me,
created the
please
program.
let her finish.
All I'm saying is this was supposed to be an update to say that the leadership role was transitioned from OPA to city council. It was a quick update. I literally wasn't trying to disappear anyone or anything, so, I can introduce myself. I'm Nina. What is your name?
My name's Valerie.
Hi, Valerie.
I would be so grateful if in person, if in future, you could just do this one tiny thing, which is at least when you get updates on the APP, please acknowledge who made the APP happen. Because members of the public, for example, dialing in, who don't know very much, after this meeting would have the impression that the APP was created by the CPC. It is exactly the
But I
opposite.
said we're a participant.
We
and
don't-
I said other stakeholders,
Well, I
including
think-
community, and I mentioned community.
All right, well,
I didn't mention
community
Castile
is, this
specifically,
community
so.
member isn't just a stakeholder, she's the
She's the one that created
creator
I hear you guys.
and
I
the
hear you.
originator, so please just do that minimal thing, okay?
Okay.
We're not
All
talking
right,
about hearing, we're
thank
talking
you.
about reality. She created it, she got it moved out of
I
the
feel like you're being
OPA.
super combative. I'm just trying to have a conversation with you all, okay? And I
Right.
acknowledge your concerns. I hear you, okay? That's all. So,
Thank you for your
that's-
feedback.
Yeah.
But do you understand why it was moved out of the OPA?
Thank you for your feedback.
My understanding
Yes.
is capacity issue, so, yeah.
No, it was not.
It was not a capacity issue at all. Well, that's incorrect, and that's what we're addressing right now,
This meeting
is the
over,
incorrect
and we would invite you to
information.
Take this conversation outside.
Well-
Thank you so much for your time here.
If this meeting is over, then you don't have to talk to us.
Well, we welcome you to take this conversation outside of another public space.
Well, it would be great
This
if,
is a public
this,
space.
it's all public space, and this is all public comment. And it's
We're
really,
finishing up.
You are on video. Thank you, thank you.
I encourage you to read the ordinance and the section of the ordinance
Oh,
that specifically talks
Read the
about
ordinance.
how.
Okay, the ordinance says you have to have a
Excuse me,
meeting once a
excuse me,
year.
please don't yell at me.
You have to have a meeting once a year. You're violating that
Please
ordinance.
don't yell at me.
He's not yelling at you.
I'm not yelling at you. I'm actually trying to have a conversation, whereas you're trying to be actually
Combative.
dismissive.
I'm asking
And
you to
paternalistic.
please not raise your voice to me.
Oh, don't raise my
He's
voice.
not raising his voice at you. We're
look,
speaking through
look,
mass.
listen,
We're
I'm
not raising our voices
I'm not
at you.
raising my voice, and you don't want to listen to me.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the
So,
reality.
I mean,
You don't wanna listen.
I have actually had to plead with the CPC and members of the CPC staff to just do the minimum of the right thing by an actual affected person. You had 7 or 8 paid staff here today, and here's a person who's actually been affected by really egregious policing.
Well,
And that, it's very important to center the most affected
I
people.
will say that the affected person work group welcomes you, Castile, and welcomes your contributions to
Oh,
that.
that
You have not
insulting.
acted that
That
way.
is
It has been
gross.
the absolute complete
is
opposite. You have continued to silence the voices. I'm still speaking, just as you had just said that you want other people to speak. The CPC, the OPA has done the quite opposite of centering the voices of affected people such as myself. The CPC has continued to undermine the affected persons program by way of trying to create some appeals process only after the legislation was passed for the APP to do it, and you've continued to act in that way. We have signs up talking about the fact that you refuse to allow public comment to continue since the February 14th meeting, since the time that myself and Dr. Howard Gare were slandered by a commissioner who's also a Seattle police officer, and on it goes. So I don't know where you're coming from, but we're coming from. It's from the community and caring about people who have been harmed and brutalized by Seattle police and continue to get this type of demeanor from you, this type of stonewalling, this type of defensiveness, this type of lies. On and on and on it goes. It's unacceptable, it's egregious, it is the complete opposite of actually caring about and having any level of empathy for the affected community who has had loved ones killed brutalized and maimed by the Seattle police. And you guys should be ashamed of yourselves. You should be ashamed of your current demeanor right now. It's combative to the community that cares about people who have been unallowed, who have been killed, and who have been brutalized by the police. We have every right to be upset. We have every right to be frustrated. And the fact that you want to even continue to silence us now is egregious. It's egregious. It's dishonorable, and it's shameful for me to want to get lied on by Felicia, and for you to continue to sit up here and be combative and dismissive to the harms that we have to live with every single day. It's disgusting behavior. We have been patient with you over and over. We have been patient in regards to even getting the APP started for almost half a year. And because of the undermining of the CPC, because of the undermining of other city officials, because of the undermining of the OPA, we haven't even been able to do that, to be able to get resources to bury our loved ones who have been killed by Seattle police, to get resources, to get funeral resources, to get a funeral for the loved ones that Seattle police have murdered, to even get mental health resources as one of the last CPC meetings you guys had, talking about how, as one of the last meetings that Seattle City Council had, talking about how much they care about mental health. You don't give a damn about people with mental health who have been killed by the Seattle police. The way that you have continued to act, that you have continued to undermine the Affected Persons Program, it's disgusting. We have every right to be upset. We have every right to be frustrated with you all. And you have no right to sit up here and dismiss us, talk down to us, and act as if our rage is coming from nowhere, as if it's just coming from the air. It's not. And you know it's not, Callie. And it's disgusting that you want to sit up here and gaslight us every single time we try to speak out. Every single time. One of the last things that we want is to come and speak with you during one of your commission meetings while it's having a full quorum, and you refuse to even allow us to do that. Disgusting. One of the last times that we had a public meeting and I was in the middle of talking, you took the mic from me. And then Felicia went on to lie about me. And Harriet Walden went on to lie about me. And the commissioner went on to lie about me. And when we spoke out against that, complete silence, radio silence. And yet you want to act as if all of this is coming up, as if we have no reason to be frustrated, we have no reason to be upset. We have every reason to be upset, every reason to be frustrated. And if you want to engage with us, at least do it with good faith. At least do it from a place that understands that all these people that are going to be coming out, all the people that are continuing to speak up, have every right to be frustrated, every right to be outraged. You all continue to take millions of dollars every year from the Seattle City Council to fund what? To undermine an Affected Persons Program that wants to seek for resources for people who have been killed by the police, to get funeral and burial services, to get mental health services, to try to get child care services for trying to navigate a hostile system such as the one we're seeing right now. All of this hostility, as we were trying to initially talk to you all calmly, as we have continued to try to speak to you all in a way that, whether it's through email or whether it's through public comment, y'all continue to shut that down. It's disgusting and it's outrageous. If the next thing that you're going to say is to gaslight us, you can save it.
No.
You can save it.
I wanted to say I hear you, because
You absolutely do not. I've spoken to you. I've tried to speak to you on multiple occasions. Yes, I did, Kelly. The last February 14th minute, I was speaking to you. What are you talking about? We were all there, Callie. Now you're going to lie.
I'm trying to tell you that I listen. I acknowledge your pain.
Okay. So the reason why I'm here, and that's another lie, that you all want to sit up here and try to make it seem as if the only reason I'm here is because my brother was killed by the Seattle police. I've told you, and that's another lie that Felicia wanted to perpetuate, and a lie that Harriet wanted to perpetuate. The reasons why I'm here is for the community and people like my brother who are seeking some type of empathy, some type of care, some type of way that you all... I'm sorry, I'm getting frustrated.
Yeah,
because I feel like I'm being gassed. Please get away from me. Please get away from me.
Look, I've been to it's not
condescending.
It's not about acknowledging pain. It's about doing the right thing. It's very important for the CPC to get out of the way of the Affected Persons Program, to let affected people, and especially the affected person who
I was
initiated,
trying to listen to her.
to make that go.
You have multiple chances to listen to me.
so
But to
Kelly,
come to this place is egregious. We should not have to be here. We've tried to reach out to you all over and over and over and over and over again.
Is it going back to the city council now?
It's in City Council now, and Castile is part of this work group.
Okay, well, if it's in the city council, then it's city council.
Right, so
No.
when you present updates in a CPC meeting, at the very minimum, please direct staff to acknowledge where the APP came from, what its origin is, Castile originated it, okay? That's very important to correct the record. And then going forward, could you please, I'm sure Castile will give you this information again, get out of the way of the Affected Persons Program in the future so that it can be run by affected people and center affected people. That is not what has happened to date.
They've had 6 years to create an appeals process, and they've refused to do so. The only time that they decided to do an appeals process was after legislation was passed for it to be included in the Affected Persons Program. And one of the last updates that they gave us was the fact that they couldn't have an appeals process because of SPA contracts. So not only are they trying to undermine the appeals process, but they're trying to destroy it in the process. And that's what we've been talking. We've been talking to these people for so many months, for over years, and they refuse to listen to us.